Welcome, I'm Usha Rose, and I'm here to bring some prenatal yoga to you, especially for women who are having discomfort in the front of the pelvis. If you've been diagnosed with symphysis pubis dysfunction, this is a safe and useful class for you to practice. So I'm starting in a chair for some therapeutic yoga to start off, then we'll move on to our yoga mat and do some standing asanas. I have another video that's for symphysis pubis dysfunction. That's on the floor, so you can search that out, and they work well together. So we're starting in a chair. If you have a block, that would be really useful. If you don't have a block, you can make fists with your hands and put the fist in between your hands. You can experiment with what width feels better for you. And we're going to start just by squeezing the block between the knees. Sit up nice and tall, you can close the eyes, and we'll just take 3 breaths here, squeezing the block between the thighs. Use these 3 breaths to ground into your practice. Become present as we get started. And opening eyes, release the block. And now we'll use the hands on the outside of the thighs and press our legs out, but we'll be holding our hands. And again, for 3 breaths, pressing out with the thighs and squeezing in with the hands. And this practice just really helps to stabilize all the muscles at the upper attachment in the legs that come into the pelvis. And you can go ahead and relax. We'll take that block between the thighs again. If you don't have a block and you were using your hands before, then don't use your hands this time. Just imagine you have a block there. We're just using it for stability, not necessarily actively squeezing. You're going to inhale, stretch the arms up. And we're going to take a twist to the right, so you can let the hands come down, take the left arm across the body. The right arm can be anywhere that's comfortable on the back of the chair, or just down. And we'll take 3 breaths in the twist. So you're looking over the right shoulder, soften your rib cage in, lengthen the spine. Good, and then come back to the center. Inhale the arms up, and exhale, twist to your left hand anywhere behind you, right arm across the body. There's awareness in the legs, gently squeezing the legs together to keep the pelvis stable. Look over the left shoulder, a few deep breaths here. And then come back to the center. Stretch the arms up, deep breath in, and then exhale the hands onto the shoulders, and we'll just take a few circles with the elbows to warm up the shoulder joints. You should also feel an opening happening through the chest. Switch directions. And then inhale the arms up. Take the hands to rest on the top of the head, and we'll take a side bend to the left. Take about 3 breaths here, stretching out through the right elbow. To feel a stretch through the right side, even into the low back. Good, and then inhale it up to the top, and exhale over to the right. Reach out through the left elbow, holding for 3 breaths. Make your rib cage in, low belly is slightly engaged. And use an inhale to rise up. Exhale, release the hand. Again, get rid of the block. And we're going to come to standing. We won't be using the chair anymore, so you can take that off to the side. And come on to your yoga mat. So we'll start with the feet hip distance apart. Go ahead and grab your block. We're going to use it again between the thighs. Bringing the outside edges of your feet parallel with each other. And we're going to take the block in between the thighs. Again, it's a gentle squeezing. We're not trying to juice the block like it were an orange and squeezing with all our might. It's just holding the block in place to create stability through the pelvis and engage the adductor muscles, which supports a healthy pelvic floor and a healthy core. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms up. And as you exhale, bring the palms to the heart, bend the knees, send your booty back. I'm going to turn into a side profile so you can see. So your booty's going back. We don't want to bring the knees forward. We want to bring the weight into the heels, activating the back body, the glutes and the hamstrings. Inhale, rise up, come on to the balls of your feet. And then exhale, back down into chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chair. 3 more times. Inhale to rise, stretch up the arms. Exhale, weight is in the heels. The strength is in the back of the legs and the glutes. Keep your gaze steady to help focus your attention and keep your balance. Good. Just come to standing. You can keep the block between your legs if it's comfortable there. We're going to come into a forward fold. So if you still have your chair nearby, you might choose to put your hands on a chair, or you can take the hands to the floor. So having the hands on a chair would be a nice modification if your hands don't comfortably touch the floor, or if your belly is growing and you don't have a lot of space to fold forward. Relax the head and the neck. Good, and then slowly rise up, put a little bend in the knees, engage the core. You can roll up the spine. Good. And from here we'll release the block from between the legs and step to the top of your mat. Just take the hands to the heart. Take a moment to ground down through the legs, lift up through the top of the head, standing tall in your mountain pose. We'll bring the weight first into the right leg and start to slide the left leg back. Keeping your feet about hip distance apart, so we don't want to move our feet so they're on a balance beam. There's still distance between the feet, and this will help with your stability. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And then exhale, take the hands behind you and onto your hips. Lengthen the tailbone and lift the low belly up. With your hands on your hips, you should feel the bony parts of your hip are pointing forward. And from here, we'll take a forward fold. Press down evenly into both of your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. And we're just folding forward a small amount to get a stretch through the right hamstring, the back of the right leg here. Keep your shoulders lifted, your spine long. Knit your rib cage in, core is engaged. Good. Slowly rise up. Put a bend in your right knee, finding warrior one. So if you're comfortable here, you might experiment by taking an even longer stance, taking the left leg further back. We'll interlace your fingers behind the back. Squeeze the palms and shoulder blades together and lift the heart. The hips are still pointed forward. Chest is opening. Reach the arms off the back. Lovely, and then release the hands to the hips and slowly start to step forward. You can take a few little steps until you get to the top of the mat. Outside edges of the feet parallel in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale the hands to the heart. Shift the weight into the left leg and slowly start to step the right leg back. Remembering to keep it in the same line that it was when your feet were hip distance apart to keep you balanced and stable. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And take them behind you and rest them on the hips. Both the bony parts of your hips right here are pointed forward like the eyeballs on your head. Both legs are straight. Lengthen the tailbone and lift the low belly to slightly engage the core. Keep your spine nice and long. Bring the elbows back and begin to fold forward to stretch the back of the left hamstring. Try and lane through the sides of the neck, so we don't want to be looking up or looking down, finding a neutral cervical spine. And relax your toes a little bit. Find the arches of your feet. Press evenly through the legs. And then slowly rise up. Bend the left knee. And you might choose to stay here. This might be a nice enough of a lunge. Or you can take your right leg a little bit further back to come into a deeper lunge. Keep lengthening the tailbone down and lifting the belly up. So we're not tucking the tailbone and we're not tilting the pelvis. We want to find a neutral pelvis. So lengthening down through the pubic and tailbone. Hips pointed forward. Interlace the fingers the non-habitual way. So opposite thumb and forefinger come on top. Squeeze the palms and shoulder blades. Press evenly into the feet. Telescope the rib cage up. Open the chest. And release hands to the hips. Slowly start to step the right foot forward and step to the top of the mat. Release your arms by your sides and find mountain pose. Then close the eyes. Taking a few deep breaths here. So go ahead and open the eyes. Coming to the top of your mat if you're not already. Inhale the arms around and up. Exhale, fold forward. Put a bend in the knees. And we'll slowly start to walk our feet back into downward facing dog. Relax the neck and the head. You can pedal the heels out a little bit here. And from here we'll take the knees to the floor. You can separate them a little bit if that feels okay, otherwise keep them hip distance apart. And we'll take a child's pose. The child's pose is uncomfortable. You can just take the elbows to the floor and rest with the head down. Stay in this resting position as long as you would like. If you feel complete with your practice, you can move into side-lying Shavasana with the bolster between your legs, or you can move on to another yoga video. I hope you find this practice helpful and safe and comfortable for your body throughout your pregnancy. Namaste.